about your business.
Okay, hey, Paul, pop back in here so everybody can see you. I'm recording now.
Okay, come on. She wants to get your picture. Get down here where I am with your face
So
down
get down in
farther.
there so we can see your handsome face there.
You can't.
There you are, half of you.
You gotta. Can you see him, or does he need to scoot
Just go
down?
just a little lower. There you are. There you are. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Well, we got you. This is Uncle Paul, everybody, and we just wanted to see your shining face today, so I got you.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
You look so good.
Okay. Well, Celia, let's see. Just for the record, I'm going to say it's Sunday, November 22nd. And I'm not sure which direction we're going to go today, but what I kind of want to do is give a little bit of background about how you came into the family, you and your sister Cecil. That's a great story. And then with the two brothers, and then let's get into, because the kids know almost nothing about Grandpa Nieslanik. And so I'd like to kind of start through your earliest memories and some of those. So take it away.
Well, I do have some pictures and maybe some stories that are typed up, but not real good. But I could send those to you. But anyway, I came into this family in 1967, and my older sister Cecilia was married to John Nieslanik and was a very good friend of Bart and Mary Strang and all the little girls, and they played with Marty and Mark, and I don't know if Mike was born yet or not.
He was born, but he was really too little to be bothered with. It was Mark and Marty pretty much. Yeah. I mean, the little girls, it was pretty much the two big kids in both families that hung out. But we were across the fence.
Right. And so you played all the time together. I probably didn't know you as well as Cecil did. I knew who you were. I knew Mary and Bart very well. And my dad, Oliver, worked for Bart and Mary, and he just loved Bart. And he talked about him a lot. But, you know, I never really recorded anything or kept written down any of this stuff, so it's hard to remember.
Sure,
but
I'll prompt
do.
You. I'll prompt you if I can think of something.
Okay, so John and Paul were ranching together, and when I came into the family, and Bob also, and I guess you know Bob is deceased.
Correct.
Now, but anyway, so there's just the two old farts, I guess I should say, left. And then the two younger ones, Jim and Ray, are still alive. And the youngest girl, Frances, is still alive. So I had a real hard time getting to know everybody, but they were a wonderful family and very accommodating. And of course, when Paul and I got married, let's see, Roberta and Rick, and I can't even remember who all was in our wedding.
So probably Steve and Cindy and Mike as well.
Yeah, and Mike, Cindy sang Ave Maria, and that was...
Oh, it's your wedding?
Oh my goodness, that was so heartbreaking because your mom had just passed away. And, you know, we called him and said we would postpone our wedding, and he said, no way. Mom's made arrangements for us to come to the wedding, so we will be there. So you all came.
That's right. So when did you get married? Because she passed away the 1st of June in 1967. Right?
And we got married on the 6th of June.
Oh my gosh.
The 16th, I'm sorry, the 16th of June. And Joe was only 5 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. Did he come?
And, oh, he was there. Yes, he was. And they were just great. I mean, everybody helped us with our, our celebration. And so, I don't really know what else to say other than, your family is pretty special to us.
Well,
And
it goes both ways. And the kids, I think I didn't know this about how quickly those two events happened. I just didn't put two and two
yeah,
together. But
yeah,
but
we were so shocked when they called us and told us your mother had passed, and we didn't know what to do. So we called your dad, and he just said, "No, we're coming. Mom's got everything's arranged. She's booked our motel, and nothing's going to change." So it
life
was
has to go on, I guess,
yeah,
huh?
I guess so. Yeah. And Bernie was always such a gentle person, I can remember after he fractured his hip, we had a family reunion and we had a polka band, and he come and asked me to dance, and he could just dance like crazy.
With a broken leg.
Believe it, with a broken, I mean, it was healed, but I couldn't believe that he danced so well. Usually you're kind of, with me, I'm all over with my broken hip, but anyway, he just was really special.
But so the kids know, I remember as a little kid watching you and Paul dance, and you danced so well together, I guess maybe all those years, but you just sort of glide across the floor. So it comes with all those Nieslaniks.
Well, I think all the Nieslaniks love to dance. I mean, I can remember all the, Saturday nights we went to a dance. That was first thing we did, was get ready for the dance, regardless of where it was, it was a lot of fun.
So was Grandpa Nieslanik, so was Paul and Bernie's dad, he was alive when you got married?
Oh, yes, yes. I have, I don't know if you can see the picture, but I have a picture of Grandpa and Grandma's
Oh my gosh.
wedding.
Oh my gosh. When did they get married? What is the date there?
And May 24th, I believe it was 22, but there was a mistake here because
Wow.
Betty was born in 23.
There's that wedding announcement in the Sheridan paper, which I'll get for you, that my nephew Charlie got about their wedding. And I'll send that to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, here they are for their 50th wedding anniversary.
Oh my gosh.
He-
Look at that family resemblance. I can see it really well. Yeah, that's great.
And I'll show you Grandpa's, when he came here in 1910, or I guess it was a little later than that, he joined a baseball group. And you probably can't see him. He's the one right here, the second. Right. And he's just as pudgy as he can be, but he was their catcher.
Oh, look at that full head of hair too. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes. I guess that's where they all got their good hair because, well, Jimmy and Ray are bald, but.
Yeah, those are great pictures, Celia. I've never seen those.
Oh, yeah. So I do have a lot of pictures, and I got pictures of you guys, with when Mike, when Bernard, and here's the whole family after, let's see, this is Cindy, and I guess her and Steve had gotten married. And so Shannon is in there, and the 3 boys, and Steve, and over here's Ben.
Okay, hold that up so we can see that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's great, Celia. Oh,
don't-
look at that. Yep, I can see it just fine.
Uh-huh.
Oh, look at how little Josh is. Oh my gosh. So
And
funny. So
there's
tell
my-
us.
Josh must have been pretty little.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well,
Maybe
tell
that-
us what you remember about Grandpa Nieslanik. What was he like?
Well, Grandpa was always very, very nice. But when he put down his foot, everybody listened, you know. He was, he was the, you know, the man of the house, and everybody kind of, you know, listened to what he had to say. And here's the picture of the whole family.
Okay, move it over to the center just a little bit. Yeah. Yep. Oh, there you go. Wow. Wow. That's an amazing picture. I've never seen that. Look at 6 and 6. That
And then
is,
Grandpa and Grandma, and I did have one with Jody, and well, I have a picture, but this is Grandma when she was young, and look how beautiful she is.
oh, she is beautiful. Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh. Oh
And
my gosh.
Here's Grandpa and Grandma and Jody and Grandpa and Grandma Nieslanik and Grandpa and Grandma Motalisch.
So move it a little over to your left,
I'm sorry.
There you go. No, perfect. Oh my gosh, yes. Look at those pictures. Oh, wow.
And when they came to the when they came to Colorado from Wyoming, Grandpa Jody rode the car, and they brought the railroad car, and they brought a cow with them. And when they got to Cattle Creek, he had to get off of the train, and it was in the middle of the winter. And he just about froze to death. This was Grandpa Jody.
Okay.
And he just about froze to death, and he walked that cow all the way up to the ranch.
Oh,
And I don't, you know where the ranch is, but it's kind of up there by where
Mike and Kit.
Yeah, Mike and Kit, right.
Up there,
So-
Spring Valley, yeah?
Right. Uh-huh.
So tell me, do you know any stories, Celia, about when Grandpa came to Wyoming, kind of what that was like and what he
Yeah.
did there and those sorts of things?
When he got here, let me see here. I have it written down here somewhere. When he got to, let's see, Peter. When he came to the Ellis Island, they made him go to the bathhouse where they sprayed for lice. And he was given a new suit and shoes and a sack lunch along with $5.
Oh
And in his sack lunch was a banana, which he had never seen before and didn't know how to eat it. So he kept it in a sack. And he felt that it turned black and that he finally saw someone peeling it, so he tried it. And so then later he departed from Sheridan and arrived in Wyoming. But he also told the story about when he got here, he was going down some stairs and a black man was coming up the stairs, and it frightened him because he had never seen a black man.
Oh my gosh. Oh, of course it would, if you never have. So how old was he? Do you know how old he was when he came?
When he came over, he was 15. That was in 19, I'm not really sure, 1910. And he was 15.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So he met Grandma in Acme, where he worked at the Acme coal mine in Wyoming. Did you ever remember the name Acme or the Logan Monarch Coal Company?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
And grandma was, her maiden name was Motalisch, is that right?
Motalischeski. And they
Motalischeski, okay.
yeah, and they cut the last part of it off because it was just too long. I guess I didn't know if they wanted to maybe not seem like they were from where they were, or, there was just so many people coming to the United States. It was kind of confusing, I think, writing the name. But anyway, they changed it. And Grandpa and Mary, were married on May 24th in 1922 in Sheridan. And Betty, let's see. Betty was born in 1923. And Bernard that's Carl Bernard.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Never think of that.
Twins born June 1st, 1924. Adeline was born January 2nd, 1926. Dorothy was born January 16th, 1927. And Catherine was born June 9th, 1929. And that's when they moved to Colorado. And before they moved, some lady thought that Mary and John had enough kids, and she thought that they had the most beautiful little girl with the blonde hair, and could they adopt her? And Grandma was furious. She said, "No way."
Who was the blonde-haired one? Who was the blonde-haired?
Katie.
Katie. Okay, I only saw Katie's gray hair, so I wouldn't know that. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then when they came to Carbondale, they had bought a ranch from a Mr. Kudish, or Krudish. I'm not sure of the actual spelling of it, up in Spring Valley. And then they had the 6 more children.
And go through those names of the bottom 6 so the kids can hear that.
Oh, the bottom 6? Okay, let's see. John was born March 15th, 1932. Paul was born January 4th, 35. Robert was December 10th, 36. Jim was March 3rd, 38. Ray was born March 22nd, 1940. And Francis was born July 6th, 1941. And actually, Mary suffered a miscarriage with their 13th child. I believe she fell down the basement steps or something. Anyway, she miscarried. So they just had the 12 kids instead of the 13.
And one set of twins is all, right? Just Bernie and Beezy.
But, every one of the offsprings have had a twin in their family.
I know. It's so fun to see all the twins. I love the twins. Did you have twins?
Yes.
Yes.
Karen
and Kim.
No, Kim doesn't have, just Karen.
Oh, okay.
She has, it was Bobby that had twins.
Okay.
And I guess that's it.
So when they first came, did they just farm up there? What did they do? When did they start the dairy? I know there was a dairy, right?
Well, I don't think they had a dairy. They might have milked some cows and sold milk in town,
Okay.
And, Grandma, Motalisch, she used to grow a lot of cabbage, and she would make lots and lots of sauerkraut. And that's pretty much what they lived on, was the sauerkraut and the sausage that they made.
Right. Okay.
So let's see.
Was she alive when you got married as well, or no?
Oh yeah, Mary
Yeah?
was. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, she was alive, and she showed me how to make the sauerkraut and the dill pickles that you don't have to cook.
Oh.
And
Oh, I should know. I should learn that. Our kids
yeah,
love dill pickles.
so good and always just crisp. But I kept them in a cooler, so maybe that was part of it. So anyway, and so that's all, you know. Then Jim and Sharon got married, and so then they moved to town in, let's see, they moved to town in, I can't remember when they moved, 1965, and they bought a house from my uncle for $16,500.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And Mary, she suffered quite a few strokes, and they put her in the Glen Valley Nursing Home, where she stayed until her death. And John visited her every day to make sure that she was well taken care of and fed. And John died in 1989 at the home. His death was 19th. Yeah, he died in the hospital in 1989. So
That he lived a long life, didn't he? So 95.
oh yeah, they were, you know, quite up into age when they died. So, you know, and you had, or Joe had some uncles and aunts that I don't know if he ever remembered or not. But Mary was, let's see, which one was the oldest? Well, you know, I also probably should tell you that Mary, Grandma Mary, was born in September of 1899
Okay.
to Peter and Catherine Pilch
Okay.
of Detroit. I
And
mean, Dietz, Wyoming. I don't know.
So she was actually born in Wyoming.
Yes, she was. And then Grandpa met her because when he came to the United States, he didn't speak English. And so he went to her school to learn how to talk, you know. So that's how they met, and they got married, and that's it.
That was it. So was he around when you started having all the big family reunions?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he
Yeah,
was.
he was around. Yeah, I do have a picture of him when we were having some of these family reunions. In fact, not all of them were deceased yet. Maybe.
No rush, no worries. So do you remember him having a thick accent? Did he sound like he had a Polish accent, or was his English pretty good?
No, he had a small accent, but he actually spoke pretty well. You know, he was actually pretty darn smart. You know, he always had lots to do, you know, and he didn't sit around and wait on other people. If he needed to do something, he did it, you know. He was not afraid to step out of here's a picture of Katie.
Oh, move it over. Oh, yeah. Oh, there she is. Yep. She's blonde there for sure. That's her
Yeah.
obituary. Okay. Yeah. So Celia, tell me the story that you were telling me the other day. Tell the kids this story about about Grandpa John's life in Poland and about his dad. I didn't realize that about having the two families and his second wife that in childbirth. Would you tell that story?
Well, when Grandpa's parents, who were, I gotta get my paper here so I can remember all this stuff. It's hard to remember all
Oh,
this.
I don't know how you keep it all straight.
So, but I will, I think they were very poor when they were in Europe. He was born in Poissy, Poseczna, Czech, and it was part of Austria at that time.
Okay.
And John was born to Adam and Susan. Her name was Cieslaroba. All of the Polish women carry the OBA behind their names.
Okay.
And I don't know the reason for it. But anyway, he left to come to the United States when he was 15 on his brother's passport. That would have been Joseph I,
Okay.
who was born to Adam and Charlotte. And nobody really knows what happened to Charlotte. She evidently passed away. And then he remarried Susanna. And she was the mother of all the rest of the kids. But there was a Joseph I and a Joseph II.
Okay.
Family. And so anyway, Grandpa came to the United States on his passport. Let's see, he left on the Zinta, a German ship, bound for Isles Island, New York, February 17th, 1910. And he arrived March 4th. I guess I don't.
That's a long trip, though. That's
anyway.
a month.
Yeah. So, and I can remember he said everybody was sick on the boat, throwing up, and it was just a mess. But he survived, and he was supposed to go back. He came to the United States with a lady whose husband worked in the mine as her companion, and so he was supposed to go right back, but he got to playing baseball and he didn't want to go back. So that was he was kind of a stubborn guy, I guess.
So the baseball teams, were that amongst the Acme mines, or were they the mine teams, or was it a?
I would assume that it was the mine team. Let me see if they have any names on their shirts, but
and he was a catcher, huh?
Well, he must have belonged to the United Workers Association in 1988.
Huh. 1918, maybe?
Or 1888.
18, okay.
It was 1888. And they didn't have uniforms or anything, but they sure had fun.
Oh gosh, how fun. So so he was a coal miner then, and then when he just stayed a rancher and a farmer once he got to Carbondale, that's what he did the rest of his life?
Well, he was, when he first got to Wyoming, he had all kinds of jobs. He took care of the priests' horses, and he worked herding sheep, and he told the story about the Indian woman that just set up her camp across the fence where he was camping. And during the night, she gave birth to a baby, and in the morning, she made a sled out of old logs and a blanket and tied it to the back of the horse. And then she placed the baby on the blanket and rode off.
Oh
And
my
then
gosh.
he also
Wow.
worked for a lumber camp and did some hoboing before he became involved with the mine. And he tells about the morning that he went to work. I believe it was at Carneyville, and they had an explosion in the mine, and a lot of the miners were killed, but he hadn't made it to work yet, so he made it out all right.
Oh, wow.
So, all of those things you just never know when they're, going to happen. But anyway, when he came to Carbondale, yeah, they ranched and they built a new house, and they dug a pipeline to, I don't know how far it was, a long ways, and they made the boys dig the ditch. So anyway, he was a worker, and those kids knew how to work, and they still know how to work, as you can see.
Absolutely.
Paul is 85, and he's still feeding the cows and helping to birth them and everything. So anyway, I don't know what else you want to know about.
Did he ever go back to Poland to visit, or did Grandpa and John and Grandma Mary ever go back to Poland to visit, or Czechoslovakia to visit, or?
No, they never made it back, but we went. There were 9 of us that went in 2011, and we met quite a few of our cousins there, and they took us out to dinner.
Uh-huh.
We had chicken and I can't even remember, some kind of a potato, and they do drink quite a bit.
Oh, well.
But that's how it is over there. Everybody has, cocktails and whatever.
Vodka?
But
yeah.
We met quite a few of them, and we did have one lady who came to the United States when we had our family reunion, and I don't remember what year it was, but she came so she could visit with everybody, and she loved cowboy hats. So she had to go to the co-op and buy a cowboy hat.
Oh, so funny. Oh, that's funny. So did all the boys, did they all learn to poker from their parents, or is that just something everybody picked up? That seems to be just a family deal.
That was the thing to do on Saturday nights. Everybody went to the dance. There was nothing else to do, so everybody went to the dance, regardless how old you were, if you knew how to dance or not, but you would learn eventually.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And my parents were the same way, as we were young kids, we'd go to the dances and sleep behind the potbelly stove while everybody danced, and then they went outside and had their fights and came back in and danced more.
Funny. Oh, funny. And then it was over. So, and then at what year did you and Paul move to the place where you are now? Have you always been there?
No.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, we lived on the dairy in town. Paul and Bob were and Johnny was too. They bought a dairy herd, and We were there for 22 years, and then we moved here in 1990. We bought this ranch from a good friend of Paul's. And we've been here ever since, and I don't think we're going to leave.
I don't think so. It's the best party spot around, the family reunion. I don't know, you know, they've had it other places, but you guys are set up for it.
Oh, but the ups, you know, up on the top where Cecil and Johnny, or Teresa and Johnny live now, is so pretty because you can see. It is
pretty.
Yeah, and even where Bob and Wanda live, they could see up the canyon up towards Redstone, and it was just beautiful. But
it was just beautiful.
I wouldn't trade my place for anything.
No.
Jimmy, the other day, he said, if you sold your place for $15 million, would you take it? And I said, no. And he said, why not? And I said, well, what would I do with the $15 million?
You know, you get to that point where it's just, I mean, it's home to you, and
yeah.
All your kids are in Carbondale, is that right?
Oh yeah, all my kids are here in Carbondale. I have 5, well, Paul says we have 5.5 kids because we raised Stacy Patch, who lost her parents when she was 7.
That's right. That's
right. And so, yeah, we took her on at the age of 7, and she was with us till she went to college. And the boys, her 2 brothers, were in college at the time of the parents' death, so they didn't want us to adopt her, but they just wanted us to raise her, and we couldn't give her any, we couldn't give her the right to marry or anything. That had to come from them.
Okay.
So it worked out good. She's got 2 grandkids. Actually, we have 13 grandkids and the 6 kids. So, and 6 in-laws.
Well, there's going to be no problem with the Nieslanik name living on, is there?
No, there isn't. We go, somebody knows the Nieslanik name.
That's right. So just a couple food questions, because I remember, and this is big in the minds of the kids when they go to the reunion, the poppy seed bread, was that a Grandma Mary thing? The poppy seed bread?
Yeah, she used to make that, and it's really not very hard to make. I mean, Adeline was the one, I think, that made us the most, and hers was so good. And now Dodie's kids make it, and it just melts in your mouth. They do such a good job making it. But really, it's just like a cinnamon roll recipe. And then you just roll it out, and you have to cook the poppy seed in some milk until it, what do you call it, when
it curdles?
No, yeah,
when it curdles?
When there's no more milk in there.
Oh, it evaporates.
Yeah. And then you crush the seeds.
Oh, okay.
You put, just sugar and lots of nuts and raisins, and you roll it up, just like a regular old cinnamon roll, only you keep it in a, in a round shape. You don't.
Right. Well, we'll have to get that recipe. The other thing is the sausage. The kids have always, every year, somehow, maybe through Steve, but they get a couple links of sausage, and it's elk sausage, right? Is that with a little bit of pork in it?
Yeah, well, it's I think it's 40% elk and 60% pork.
Okay.
And we use a mix. We never used to use the mix, but we put a lot of garlic and fennel seed and pepper, and just mix it all up and mix it with your hamburger and then in a couple, or in a day or so, then you go down and you stuff it in the, you know, in the casings. And Paul usually takes it up. He was taking it up to Bobby's, because Bobby had a really nice smokehouse. Johnny has one too, but Ray and Elaine came up to make their sausage and they burned it down, so they didn't get it back.
Oh, no.
We were sitting in the kitchen and pretty soon the fire alarm took off, and Elaine and I looked at each other and I said, I wonder if that's our sausage burning. You know, joking, and it was.
And it was, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, so nobody else has a smokehouse?
No, Bobby sold his place and the guy that bought it is gonna tear it down. But my youngest grandson hurried and made his sausage before Ellie and Roger went back to Silt, and he went up and he smoked his sausage. So
good for him.
we have to build another smokehouse. So, but that won't be any big deal. Mike Nieslanik is the one who's going to do it. So,
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, good. Well, I'd love to get, you know, you were reading the dates of the births of all those people. I'd love to get a copy of that if we could. And all those pictures at some point that you took today, that you showed today, are just fabulous, especially the one of those 12 kids. I'd never seen one of them all lined up there with Grandma and Grandpa Nieslanik. That's a fabulous picture.
Here's Betty and her husband.
Oh, raise it up just a little bit. Look at her. Oh, what a beauty there, huh?
Yeah, she was. And I
Do you have any pictures of your wedding?
I have one. Yeah, I do have. This is Beezy and Bob's wedding. Can you see that?
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect. That's a good one. Well, look at Bob. Look how slender he is.
He was quite the politician.
Yes, he was.
I'm surprised he didn't give Bart a bad time. He probably did.
He did. He did, actually.
And here's Pat and Adeline. They didn't have.
Great. Raise it up just a little bit. Yeah. Oh, look at him. He looks, all those Coriels look like him, don't they?
They do. The big ears and the.
Yeah.
And this is Betty or Dodie's.
Okay, put a little to the left. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Oh, look at that.
Are you getting a glare from the sun?
A little bit, but not too bad. I'm a little bit, but it's nice to see the record of it all.
And this is Katie's when she was married to
Louis? No, what was his name?
Louis Pappas. Louis Pappas.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then I think I have, this is Cecil and John's wedding.
Look. Oh my gosh. Boy, he looks like Mark, doesn't he?
Oh, Mark looks like, he even looks like my oldest son. And this is Paul and my wedding.
Oh, let me see that. Come straighten that up a little more so we can see that. Oh, look at you guys. Oh, that's great.
That was a long time ago. Boy,
that's a great picture.
And I don't have a big one of Jim and Sharon or of Ray and
Elaine.
There's.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, this is Ray and Elaine's. And Frances, of course, eloped, so I don't have one of her.
Yeah, I remember. Look how blonde Elaine is.
Oh, yeah. And here's the four brothers that are, well, Jim didn't make it to this meeting here when they had these pictures taken.
Oh, look. Those are great pictures. I'm so glad you have that stuff, Celia.
Like I said, that was my dream, was to get all these put together. And so
Now what we need to do is have that whole book scanned so that there's a digital record of it, you know, so that to get that whole thing scanned.
oh, yeah. And here, I don't know if Paul is the second one from here, and he was in the
Oh, look at the prom.
prom, yeah.
Oh, look
He
at.
doesn't even look like him.
No, it doesn't. Oh my gosh. Well, this has been great, Celia. And you know what? I wanna kind of digest what we've talked about, and we'll do this again. But thank you. This is a start, and I kind of want to go through each of the families if we can.
Yeah.
And we'll maybe do that next time. I think that book of all the weddings is a great reminder, and we can just kind of go through one at a time, who did what and where
Right.
they lived and that sort of thing.
Well, in this one here, I have a picture of, I don't have a picture of Bernie's, you know, of Joe's mom, but I do have him, and then I've got pictures of all the kids.
Sure. Well, I have a wedding picture of them I could send you as well, of Bernie and Margaret.
Oh, yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, I'll email it to you.
Because I would never, you know, I would never find one now because but I have everybody, I think, that was born in the, well, let me show you this other thing here before I have all this stuff. And this is Rick's, most of Rick's doing. Here's a form with all the kids and their birth dates and their death dates.
Oh, nice. So Rick has that? Rick compiled that?
I think, yeah, he has. I don't know. He might have a lot of the new kids that I don't have, you know, because I lost out on all of the.
I will ask him. I'll ask him, but that's really good to know. And meanwhile, I'm going to find, I have a pretty good picture somewhere of Bernie and Margaret, their wedding picture. I'll find it for you.
Okay.
And send it on. But thank you, Celia. And
yeah,
let's do this again if you're okay with it. This was so easy. And
I'm not too good about passing on information, but.
Well, we got to start. And what I think we can do is, the other thing that we can do is if we can find a some way to borrow that book and get it scanned and then get it back to you, because those should be recorded so that all the kids can see them, you know?
Yeah. Well, I would be glad to share them. Like I said, some of my pages get mixed up because I, you know, I look through and then I don't get them back where they belong, but I think I've got them pretty much. I don't have the families complete either, like, you know, some of the kids that got married, I don't have all of those in here, but they are on what Rick had.
That's what I think for the last reunion, which I didn't go to, but everybody had a number in birth order.
Oh,
so,
right.
So
yeah.
Our kids loved, they got their number, but I'll have to get that from Rick. And I'll do that and send that on to you.
It said somewhere, and I don't know where it is, how many grandkids and how many great grandkids, and you know, it was just astonishing how the family is so big, you know, like they had, I think, 124 grandkids, and Oh, I don't remember the numbers, but anyway, somewhere in here I had that down as
Yeah.
to
No, I'll
Well,
grab that from Rick.
Rick.
Meanwhile, let's just start at the top, but we'll go through each family next time, and we'll kind of
Okay.
break it up that way. And this is great to just get started, and I'm kind of motivated to get more of this stuff recorded for the next generation, and I'll think of questions to ask you for stories and things like that. But thank you so much for taking the time today.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you. And I'm glad that Karen got me on there.
Isn't it easy?
Well, yeah, I hope it is, because I don't know, once I hang up, it might not be so easy to
Yeah,
get
you know
back.
what? You were on there. I just was busy talking and not looking, and all I have to do is admit you, and you're in, and then we're done. So the next time we do it, I'll just send you an email and tell you what. We'll figure out a time, and we'll do it again.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Well, and happy
You have a
Thanksgiving.
wonderful day. Yeah, kisses to you too. And when you see Joe and the kids, and I hope that Sam is doing well.
He is. He's doing very well. He's survived. You know, his youth had a lot to do with. He came through COVID pretty well, and he's working. And all three of the kids are going to be together in New York City for Christmas. So.
Oh,
They-
are they going to go to?
To Meg's.
To Megan's.
Yeah, Meg and her guy John live in New York City, and actually Jake is moving there. Next, well, he'll be done with his graduate school in March, and then he starts his new job there next summer. So he'll be in
My
the
goodness,
financial district.
great.
Yeah. So we'll have 2 kids in New York City, and who knows?
Where's Sam at now?
Sam is in Boise. He works for an engineering firm in Boise called Mountain Waterworks, but it was his first job out of college, and it's actually a great location because he's got a lot of friends still. Well, he can go to Spokane, which is the Gonzaga, and then he's got a lot of friends. He's got some friends close there in Boise, and then some in Washington State, which isn't too far away. And heck, for me, it's a long day, but I think it's 10, 11 hours. To me, he could drive it in a day. So.
Oh my God. It's a good thing I don't have to drive it, because I'd never make it.
Well, I'm going to stop recording, and then you give Paul my best, and